If you've been watching the news, then you probably have heard about Kilauea, a volcano on the Big Island of Hawaii that had a 13-day eruption with lava fountains and even flows. I recently traveled to Hawaii, and during my stay, I decided to island hop over to the Big Island in order to see this. On my recent trip to Hawaii, I was staying on the island of Oahu. Now, if you are traveling to Hawaii and you're interested in island hopping, primarily you're going to do this through flying. There are a couple of different cruise ships that do go around to the different Hawaiian islands, but most of the time, most people are just going to fly. I went online and kind of price hopped around to see the cheapest flights that I could get last minute. I was able to get some cheaper flights through Southwest, in order to get to the island where Kilauea is, you actually have to travel to the Big Island of Hawaii, and you have to travel to Hawaii Volcanoes National Park. Now, the national park is closer to Hilo on the Big Island, and there's two international airports on the Big Island, Kona and Hilo. So I decided to fly into Hilo. My flights from Honolulu to Hilo were $84, and then from Hilo to Honolulu back were $44. I would say even if, there isn't current activity, if you are planning on going to Hawaii within the next couple of weeks or months, I still would recommend traveling over to the Big Island and seeing the Volcanoes National Park. There really is nothing like it, especially if you come from an area where you don't have volcanoes. It's amazing to stand next to these gigantic structures and just it's amazing. I can't even put into words. So I would highly recommend considering this. One caveat I would say, and just something to kind of keep in your mind, is that as you are island hopping, be aware that different islands have different customs, different cultures, and things are just different. So Honolulu Airport is very different than the Hilo Airport. Hilo Airport is very small, and a lot of the gates are actually outside. It's just like a little overhang. The only flights that I saw actually had gates that were inside of the air-conditioned building were Hawaiian Airlines. All the other airlines' gates were outside. So just keep that in mind, that depending upon your comfort level and what you're used to or where you're from, you may not have airports that are like that. The rental car, we decided to rent a car so that we could drive to the park ourselves. The rental car facilities, it was a large parking lot, and then the rental car businesses were in little, almost like cubicles or almost like snack shacks lined up by the parking lot. So things were definitely different than flying into Honolulu. So just kind of keep that in mind. If you fly into Hilo and then from there drive to the national park, it's about 45 minutes. If you fly into Kona, it's about 2 hours. So they're literally on two different sides of the island. In order to enter the park, you do have to pay for an entrance fee, and you will receive a permit. As of May of 2023, the park is no longer accepting cash. So you're definitely going to want to make sure that you bring your debit card, credit card. I actually purchased my pass online, and you'll get 2 emails when you do that, one with your receipt and then another email that will have your park pass attached. You're going to want to make sure that you download your permit on your phone or that you print it out. There can be areas within the park that have patchy cellular service, and you could be asked to show your permit at any time. So you're definitely going to want to make sure that you keep it on your person. And currently, permits are $15 if you're just walking into the park, $30 if you're bringing your car, and $25 if you're bringing a motorcycle. Now, there are technically 3 sites where you can view Kilauea. There is a path along Devastation Trail. It's about a 30-minute hike to the volcano, and then you're about a half a mile away from it. There's also a little trail that's by the visitor center, and you're about 2 miles away from it at that point. And then there's an overlook. When you're at the overlook, you're about a mile away from the summit. When we arrived at the park, we actually talked to one of the rangers. I would highly encourage you guys, when you're visiting national parks, to talk to the rangers. They're there all the time, every day. They're experts. They know those parks like the back of their hands. And we just asked, of the 3 viewing sites, which one is the best? And he recommended the overlook, and he was absolutely right. The views from the overlook were breathtaking. So when we arrived at the overlook, there's a little parking lot. It's not large at all, probably about 100 something parking spaces. But there's a little walking trail where you can walk up, and there's different sites that you can look at the overlook, and each of them is at a different elevation. The nice thing was that there were no stairs. So it was a slope, but it was all paved. So it wasn't like you had to be, hiking or anything like that. So you should be fine. I chose to wear, boots, but I had other people in my party that had tennis shoes and sandals, and they were completely fine with their footwear. Now, on the day when we arrived, the lava flow was super active the night before, and then in the morning, it was just remnants of the lava flow, and it was beginning to calm down again. So, unfortunately, I didn't get to see lava shooting up or spurting out from the site. But if you look and see the areas in the footage where there's that yellow color, those are remnants of lava flow. And it's very hard to see lava flow during the day. The best time to see it is at night. The sun kind of reflects off of it and keeps it from being as bright and as visible. And I would encourage you, like I said earlier on this video, whether there is current activity at one of the volcanoes or not, you absolutely still should check out this park. Another volcano that is in this park is Mauna Loa, and it's basically the opposite side of Kilauea. There's another volcano on the Big Island as well, Mauna Kea, and this is actually the largest volcano in all of the Hawaiian Islands. It's over 13,000 feet high. And the really cool thing about visiting that volcano in particular is that if you go to the visitor center, you're about 9,000 feet. And they even have an observatory, and they have stargazing nights. They have special events. They have a biking trail and even a hiking trail and a road where you can drive all the way up to the summit. Now, if you go all the way up to the summit of that volcano, at the top of it is actually an observatory and a research center. So there's not going to be much that you can do, and a lot of the facilities are closed to the public, but it's still kind of cool to say that you are 13,000 feet above. And something that's really amazing with this volcano is that it stands so tall that it actually is above the clouds. So if you visit it, you can actually take images and pictures where you're looking down on the clouds. Now, I do want to give a little bit of a sidebar here and just let you know that video recording and photos on Mauna Kea, you do have to get a permit in advance. So if you are planning on visiting, make sure that you reach out to the visitor center. You go to the visitor center, there's a link on that website where you can fill out a form that goes to the Hawaiian government to get permission to film. The flight from Honolulu to Hilo was just an hour from gate to gate, and the actual flight time was only 25 minutes. And we actually even flew over Maui and a couple of other Hawaiian islands on the way over to the Big Island. So it was a beautiful journey, very scenic. It was so fast. It felt like nothing. Overall, guys, we had an absolutely amazing time. Once again, I would highly recommend visiting this national park, whether there's current eruption going on or not. You are sure to have a wonderful time. It's amazing, and really it's a once in a lifetime opportunity. So if you're on the Big Island, or even if you're on a neighboring island, I would highly consider hopping over and checking out the volcanoes. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed this content, consider giving us a thumbs up, subscribe for more, and I'll see you guys next time.